like doing this.
So Big Noah
Big
will
Noah
not be joining us for Endgame.
He had to make himself scarce because he hasn't seen it. He's a fool.
Tiny.
But we've seen it, and we've got things to say.
Yeah. Thanos dies immediately.
Thanos gets murked.
He gets his head chopped off by Thor in the first 2 minutes of the movie.
And it's not even satisfying.
It's like, even when you're watching,
You're like, Jesus.
yeah, because they just show up, run in on Thanos, and just kill him.
They show up, roll up on Thanos, and he goes, I already destroyed the Infinity Stones, and then they murder him. Or I guess Thor murdered. Thor just kills him.
I don't think anybody else was going to kill him.
No, I think they're probably just going to leave him.
Yeah, and then Thor's just like, you know what?
Dead.
Which leads to Fat Thor.
Fat Thor, which
went on for too long.
It did go on for too long.
Although, by the end, I think they kept it with the final battle.
They fixed him in the end because he didn't really look like it.
Kinda. But, he's still fat the whole movie.
Yeah.
But I think they did that to nerf Thor. Because Thor with both hammers against Thanos with no gauntlet should not be a competition at all.
No, it shouldn't have been.
So you have to find a way to make Thor weaker.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's make him fat and out of shape.
Right.
That being said, Captain America with Mjolnir should probably be able to kill...
To sleep Thanos.
Like, no gauntlet Thanos.
Yeah. But I don't really...
That was one of those things. Tony in Infinity War could somewhat keep up with Thanos with like 3 of the stones in that fight scene on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Endgame, Thanos with no stones. Tony has a newer and better suit. Tony couldn't do anything to him.
Yeah. Well...
I just thought that's like a nitpick to me.
That's kind of a nitpick,
The strength of Thanos.
I didn't even think of that. But my only thought is, like, the Thanos we saw in Infinity War was the Thanos who, he's already got the gauntlet, and he's already well on his way to winning.
Yeah.
That's also an older Thanos. Not very much older in Infinity War, but he is older.
Yeah.
So I think the Thanos that we saw in Endgame, because he was still in the middle of, like, I'll just go to a planet and kill half the people there.
Yeah.
He's more bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
So by proxy, he's more dangerous.
And he's just like, he's not worrying about, I have to use these stones
that
I have.
Knows he's gonna win.
He's just, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna use what I know, this giant twin blade.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he might be better off just, sticking with what he knows.
So he just fights, and he fights very effectively.
Yeah. He was like even giving Captain Marvel some shots.
Yeah. I don't really want to talk too much about the plot for this movie because
really
there is most certainly a plot.
Okay, yeah, there is, but it's very.
But the plot can be summed up in time heist, which is just a joke from the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I don't really want to talk about it because you got to see it to me.
The pre-5-year jump,
mm-hmm.
the time heist, and then
the big
everything
battle.
After Hulk snap.
Yeah.
That's kind of how the movie's sectioned off.
Mm.
And it's edited very differently.
It
There's
jumps
not
around
a lot of movies that feel like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
we walked out of the theater.
The length of it honestly doesn't get to you.
The length of the movie has almost no bearing on it. To me, it was just like.
To me, it was like, I
here.
finished my water halfway through it, and I was kind of thirsty.
It's like, I'm here for the end game. I don't care about the length, and you don't when you're watching it. You just don't.
It doesn't really bother you. Plus, there's enough filler scenes during the time heist, I think, that you have, and that's about halfway through the movie.
Yeah,
where it's just
the time
like
heist is great.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you did have to leave time heist, I think a lot of those scenes are just teammates bantering.
The biggest thing you would miss if you left during the time heist would be Black Widow dying.
Yeah, that's only if you miss the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's very prominent. And she's one of the only permanent deaths in that movie.
Yeah, her and Tony.
Yep,
And I guess Cap. Cap
Cap's
doesn't die, but he's
not
out.
Cap anymore.
Yeah, he's
Thanos is permanently gone.
Thanos, yeah.
Thanos is gone.
He died immediately.
No, like Thanos. Like, full stop.
Oh, yeah.
Because they snapped him.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, he blew away, and then they put and then they put all the Infinity Stones back. So now there are no more Infinity Stones.
Mm-hmm. Also, how did Tony build a gauntlet that
My-
controls
My thought with that one is, fucking, he's number one. He's Tony Stark.
Yeah.
He when he got nailed by the Infinity Gauntlet in the last movie, his suit, he probably analyzed it or something.
Yeah.
So that's my only thought.
Figure out some of
So
it.
he was able to figure out some of it, or maybe who knows? Thor might have given them the plans,
Or he's still using the tech from Vision because they were able
or he
to control the
because
Mind Stone.
the vibranium was able to control
Yeah.
the Mind Stone. But another thought, because remember in the Dying Star,
Mm-hmm.
there's a prototype Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Maybe Thor went up there and got it at some
Yeah.
point. I don't know. That's kind of me just like. I feel like
Speculating.
I'm just
to me,
covering
yeah,
like the
'cause it's
movie's
like-
ass on that one.
Because it's like, it makes sense to me that people on, what was it, Nidavellir, the Forge planet,
Yeah,
it makes sense to me that they would have some understanding of making Infinity Gauntlet.
because they made it.
Yeah. And like, they're all spacey anyway. He's
Yeah.
making an axe that can teleport you anywhere.
The Bifrost.
Yeah. So it doesn't surprise me that he can make an Infinity Gauntlet. It's a little like Tony just
Whatever.
he just put an Iron Man glove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I want to talk about the fucking final fight scene.
That was great.
It was incredible. When Giant Man punched the fucking Chitauri thing out of the sky,
That was awesome.
I almost stood up.
Huh.
I couldn't believe it. That was incredible.
Did you see Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I didn't.
Okay. Because they kind of make a line in it. Well, they talk about how Giant Man, like, if he uses it,
Mhm.
then Ant-Man, like, passes out, like,
Yeah.
pretty much immediately after
Mhm.
going giant. And in that movie, he only gets, like, half as big as he does in Endgame.
Yeah.
And where did Scott...
How do you pull
yeah,
that one
how
out
do
of
you,
his
how do you
ass?
just pull this one off? But Ant-Man the Wasp also makes no sense and is really bad. So I'm not going to go by
So
the logic
we're
of that
fine
movie. Yeah.
without talking about that. It's just
Ant-Man,
fine.
though, was one of my favorite characters
He
in
was-
the movie.
He was awesome. You know what?
Spoiler alert, Ant-Man kills Thanos, he
I was-
enters him.
I was actually about to make a point. At the end of the day, like, think about it.
End of
At
the
the
day,
end of the day,
Ant-Man won,
Ant-Man
man.
killed Thanos.
Yeah.
The whole reason they were able to get the Infinity Stones back is because of Ant-Man.
Because Ant-Man was like, let's go on a time
Ant-Man was like,
heist.
let's go back in time. And they're like, okay.
Okay, yeah.
And then they do.
How'd you feel about Hulk?
I liked
Well,
him.
like-
He was oddly handsome.
Yeah, like sexy
he
Hulk.
was strangely handsome.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I liked that. I wish we got to
was-
see it happen.
I kind of like that he was just there.
Yeah, I liked that scene
Where you first meet
when
him.
he's taking the
Yeah.
selfie with the kids, and then they walk away and he goes, "Dab,
Dab.
listen to your mom." That is a great
He
scene.
was weirdly handsome.
He was strangely handsome.
like handsome Squidward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was strange. Yeah.
It's like
I don't want to keep reiterating that. I feel we're done talking about it now.
it like pulled me out of the movie.
whenever
I see
he
it,
might be
it's
like, "Oh, okay."
Whoa.
Whoa. Jesus.
He was hilarious.
He
in the
was
movie.
hilarious. He was. I
He
couldn't
was
believe
great.
that he was the comic relief.
Yeah,
So
I thought
funny.
that scene where Thor was explaining the plot of Thor: The Dark World.
That
was great. So that
was
movie
great.
makes no sense.
No, but I want to get back to talking about the fucking final fight scene.
When
Because
Captain America
Captain America picks up Mjolnir and just goes off. He just goes ham. And it's-
That was a great thing to see.
You know,
That's
it was
something
enough.
that everybody had been wanting to see since Captain America met Thor.
Yeah.
And
the-
they teased it in Age of Ultron.
It was so good. Another great part. The rest of Thanos' army shows up. And who the fuck stands there with a broken shield by himself? Captain America.
Captain America.
No
Yup.
fear. No
That was
fear.
a great shot.
That
the shot
was
of Cap
awesome.
on one side,
Cap on
all
one side and
alone.
the whole army coming at him from
That
the other.
reminds me of in Game of Thrones, the shot of Jon Snow, where he's got his sword out and there's just a line of 6,000 horses charging at him.
And he's no fear.
Yeah, no
it was
fear.
incredible. That was awesome. And then the
That was
callback
great.
to the first fucking meeting with Falcon on your left.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
On your left. And then the portals open up, and I felt tears in my eyes.
And the first person you see is Black
It's
Panther, with his arms
weird
that are
long
way too
arms
long.
that are like down to here.
They go down to like
And then he
past
starts
his
yelling
knees.
"Bombay,"
Bombay!
and that was cool. I was glad to see him back.
It's good. Yeah, no, I like all the shit about Wakanda. I just don't like.
I just thought Black Panther was a bad movie.
Yeah.
And then everybody comes back in. Spider-Man comes back, and he's
That was
immediately
great.
like, "What happened?"
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And then they just play like a game of hot potato while trying to kill Thanos.
Yeah.
Keep the Infinity Gauntlet away from him, but murder him.
Yeah. Also, let's kill him.
Yeah. And then the fucking final showdown. Thanos gets his hand in the gauntlet, and Iron Man tackles the thing.
Yeah.
Also,
I had a quick heart drop moment when Thanos
I
put
know.
on the gauntlet.
I
I
was-
was like, no.
I was thinking about this. You know how Doctor Strange comes back and Tony's like, "Is this the one where we win?" And he's
Yeah.
like, "If I tell you, it won't come true."
Yeah.
He kind of does tell him to do something.
Yeah.
Because remember, Doctor Strange, he's holding the water back, and Tony looks at him.
And he does.
Strange goes like this.
I think that means one. This
think
is the one in.
I think that means this is the one, but I also took it as snap.
Oh. I saw that
Maybe
as this is the
I
one.
saw it as one
because
first,
he
but
does
now,
make a snap.
because I can't remember. Yeah, I could be wrong. He could be holding his hand like this, like just.
I think it was like a circle.
But I vaguely remember him doing this, so it could be this is the one where you win.
That being
or
said,
snap.
I think he was also doing like
He could have also just been doing silly hand
doing
motions.
silly hand thing. And
I
then he
could
was
be
like,
reading way too deep into that,
Yeah.
but I'm going to continue to believe that because I think that's really neat if that's what he did.
I think that would be a nice little detail.
And then Iron Man just
No,
tackles the fucking Infinity Gauntlet. That's all he does. He
yeah.
just goes,
Iron Man looks over at Doctor Strange and he's just like
bruh.
backwards hat on.
He's got the fucking, it's resting on gently
Yeah,
on
his
his
hat's like
eyebrows.
covering you.
Bruh.
He's got his hood like this. Bruh.
Bruh.
Quick fuckboy pose.
Iron Man tackles the Infinity Gauntlet.
Rips.
Right fucking
Yeah.
and then Thanos goes, "I am inevitable."
Snaps.
Which is the callback to the
Yeah.
beginning movie. Snaps, nothing happens. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Tony's got the Infinity Stones. And he goes, "I am Iron Man."
That's his last line in the movie.
And then he snaps, and he dies.
And, like,
But
blew
so
up
does fucking
Thanos.
Thanos.
Yeah.
And then
That was very sad. I didn't think Thanos was gonna get ashed.
I thought they were gonna leave him,
Yeah.
and then he gets ashed, and it was sexually satisfying.
Very satisfying.
Sexually satisfying.
That's all just the final
So
battle.
satisfying.
What was your favorite time heist?
My favorite time heist.
Which spot?
Which spot? I really liked when they were going back through Avengers.
The first one?
The first one, yeah.
When I thought that was a great character moment when Tony drops the Tesseract
And
it
Loki picks
and
it
it
up.
rolls in front of Loki. He picks it up and then just
He
booms
picks
out.
it up and he dips.
Yeah, he's just gone. And then they're like,
They're like, "It's okay, we gotta go get another one."
fuck.
Oh man, it's and then the funeral that they have for Iron Man. It's proof that Tony Stark has a heart.
No.
I didn't cry in the movie theater, but
Chase was doing a lot of crying.
God Almighty. I could have. I could have when she's going, and when fucking Happy goes, "Are you hungry? I want a cheeseburger.
Yeah, when Happy's talking to Tony's daughter.
I'll get
That
you all the
was sad,
cheeseburgers
yeah.
you want." That was so sad. Tony just got his family. He's only at him for 5 years. He's dead.
That was his one request: leave everything.
Leave them alone.
Yeah.
And he got it.
Yeah, because Tony didn't even want to do the time heist because he was like, I don't want to screw up
I don't
my
want to
current
screw up
family.
my family. But
He was
then it
like-
turns out that time travel doesn't work like it does in Back to the Future.
I really like the way this movie did time travel.
I do too, because I thought, like when
You can go in and literally change everything, but it all gets reset.
yeah, because when Nebula shoots past Nebula, my first thought was, oh well, now Nebula isn't going to exist.
Yeah.
But that's not how it works.
No, it's like nothing actually.
Nothing actually going into the past. You're going into a different timeline.
And somehow Nebula, I guess she transported Thanos' ship through the time machine.
They
Yeah, the ship came through the time machine. Cause I was
no,
gonna say,
they did
like,
do that, but I was.
how do you get all his backup? Where'd they come from? You can't call them in from Thanos'
I
current.
don't know.
You can't call them in from the
It was
current
probably all on
timeline.
the ship though, because that was like Thanos' like capital ship that
Yeah.
came through.
I mean,
I don't know.
Does he
I
have
didn't-
those big flyboys just on his ship?
Maybe I honestly didn't think of it. I was just so blown away by the spectacle.
Yeah. Because I was like,
And then Captain Marvel, they used her very well.
yeah, they
They used her
did. They
very
didn't
well.
just have her show up and kill Thanos.
I thought she would
or
show up
whatever.
and murder Thanos and everything would be fine. No, she
She-
shows up. She does destroy the ship, and then she does showcase that she is very strong.
That she's very much the best person there.
Because Thanos headbutts her and nothing happens, which was cool.
But it's also, she could have killed Thanos herself.
But then she didn't.
Yeah, why'd she stop fighting Thanos?
I think she was just trying to get the gauntlet off of him.
And then she was like, yeah, I'm gonna go over here.
And then they had the weird girl power scene,
That was a
which
little-
was it. I'm not gonna. I feel like I'm gonna sound like an asshole for saying this.
Yeah.
It's
It was very
it's
forced.
pandering.
Yeah.
It's pandering. They pandered, which I get it. I think it's important that everybody has like a superhero that they can look
Yeah.
up to and everything. That was pandering.
Also, it was, to me, it was one of the things of Captain Marvel. If it was like Black Widow or what? No, it couldn't have been Black
Could have
Widow.
been Black Widow.
If it was someone that wasn't the most overpowered Avenger carrying the gauntlet, then that scene would make sense. But it's like Captain Marvel did not need anybody's help.
No.
She,
Fly.
yeah, she was. They were all like, "We're gonna help you," and then she just flew through anyway.
Yeah, and they didn't help.
And half of them are just people.
Half of them got their asses kicked.
Half of them are people. They just have to run after her.
Like, oh damn it!
Meanwhile, she's moving at the speed of light through the
Yeah.
battlefield.
Just zipping through the battlefield.
No.
Also, when Peter goes, Karen, instant kill.
Yeah.
That was awesome. There wasn't enough Spider-Man in this movie, but that's I knew there wasn't going to be hardly any.
His next,
But
the
I
next Marvel
really
movie is
like
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and I wanted more Iron Spider killing people. Because
I
he
did
does. He
think-
does. When that suit starts going
Starts killing people.
and just murdering,
yeah,
that was cool.
that was great. And
That
just,
was cool.
At one point, the next time they show him, he's just on a pile
He's
of
in a
bodies.
pile of dead bodies, and the
Still
thing's just still
stabbing
going.
them. Yeah.
That was cool.
What was I gonna say? But the girl power thing, I didn't think in this movie was as bad as in Infinity War, when like you know what part I'm talking about because I've ranted about this. That part where Scarlet Witch is like on the ground.
On
and,
the ground,
and,
and
like
the
one of
thing-
Thanos' like henchmen is like, "I'm
Who's
gonna-"
going to help you now?
Yeah, and then it's Black Widow unarmed, standing behind her, and then a Wakandan woman.
It's
With a spear.
It's not just a Wakandan woman.
Oh, it's like the.
It's the head Wakandan woman. I can't remember her name.
Maybe
I feel bad that I can't remember her name because I actually like her as a character.
I did too, but I didn't
she
remember
came
her
from
name,
my least favorite movie,
and I didn't know her name when watching the movie, so I'm not gonna learn it.
so I'm not
now.
gonna just remember it.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I thought that part in Infinity War
That part
was
of
just,
Infinity War was very silly.
yeah,
I wish we talked about that while we were talking about Infinity War with Noah.
yeah, because that was kind of cringe.
It was
bro.
kind of cringe.
bro.
It wasn't such epic bacon.
The one part, because I did have to use the bathroom at one point. I was
During-
gone for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I guess the one thing I missed was Thor calling both his hammers
He
in.
did. He called in Stormbreaker and Mjolnir at the same
How
time.
cool was that?
It was pretty cool.
Pretty good.
It was pretty good. I thought Thor was gonna go off at that point, and he just doesn't.
Because he's
He
fat
just gets
Thor.
his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
But whatever. He still kicks ass.
Yeah.
He just also gets his ass handed to him.
Oh, the fly moved.
Fly moved.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
Oh, fart. Oh,
Well.
shit.
There he goes.
But Endgame is,
You have to see it.
yeah.
I don't think there's anything. Jack and I could sit here talking about it all day, and I don't think we could do it.
I
the
can't
proper justice
explain
it
this
deserves.
movie.
It's
It's, if you've seen it, then you know
if you
it's,
see it, you know that we can't explain it.
it's
just
very
too,
weird to talk about
We can
because
give
it's
you all
it's a very strangely edited movie. It's very strangely paced.
I don't think it's strangely paced. I think it's paced in a way that makes sense for what it is.
Yeah,
Because
but it's not.
had-
It doesn't
because the
feel like a
movie-
regular movie.
The movie's a race against. It's not a race against time per se, but it's a race through time, through multiple timelines.
Yeah.
So things are gonna jump around.
Yeah.
But it jumps around and it absolutely it works, and it's more of an experience to me than it is for a movie.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's more of an experience.
It's very
than a
much
movie.
just the end game.
It's the end. It's the end of this phase of Marvel, and I don't think there could have been a better send off.
No, it's a great way to follow up Infinity War too.
Yeah.
Like now I want to watch those movies back to back.
I know. Now I want to go see Endgame again.
Yeah. There's a lot of that movie that I just won't remember because of how much there
There's
is.
just so much.
Yeah,
It's
I
just such
feel
a-
like I'm missing half the movie, but it's
I feel like we've covered the.
yeah, it's really good.
It's a good ass
Go
movie.
see it.
Go see it. And that's all I got.
Cut.
Cut, dry, cut me.
Heave.